Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, if you follow me, you probably see I do music from time to time, and it's been a while. As far as videos, I really don't do a lot of updates, and I think the sentiment, if you look at just cryptocurrency right now, sentiment is really, really, really negative, and I'm making this video just maybe to catch somebody on YouTube, maybe to catch somebody in the ether of like the search for something that is real. Because I mean, right now, when you think of cryptocurrency and you think of protocols like what Solana or BNB or Base, a lot of people are burned out. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I'm ultimately just gonna say this: like, I'm not an influencer. I don't I don't want to be paid for this video that I'm putting out. That's a part of my personal blog, kind of just documenting history. Like, I don't care about the money. I don't I don't care about those things. I have a life outside of X. And I'm not anybody special beyond just being a guy who's passionate about a community that I'm in, and standing for just what I believe in. And cryptocurrency has been so it's just been so manipulated, and it's so far from what it's supposed to be that I don't even think maybe you watching this video have any idea that this opportunity exists. So I'm going to share that with you. So right now, if you're not aware, over the past I think 3 years, 5 years, however long we've been around, there was a massive sacrifice phase for PulseChain, and it came out. I was an early adopter in that. I've been in PulseChain and in this community, like from the beginning, kind of writing down and writing through all of the pain, ups, downs, lows, whatever the case may be. When I initially got involved with PulseChain, gonna equal this out and ignore all this. This is just how I measure the markets. As of recently, I don't have just crypto, but I also do forex and a whole bunch of other non things. So this is going to be important to kind of monitor. And when I look at charts, I don't go based off of like chart patterns and flags and all this other crap. I've found a method that I had to pay for, which has helped out tremendously, which is why I have crypto, but then I do forex stuff. But what you're looking at, the chart it's Pulse Chain. This box, this little green box going back here to 2023, is it's it's kind of iconic to me because at this point, when the site came out, I had roughly about $10,000, I think, in Pulse Chain at that point. And I remember, if I remember correctly, it was around 4th of July. Yeah, because July is when the SEC actually ran their case against Richard Hart. And I remember, like, we had 4th of July, I was feeling great. I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, Pulse Chain launch, it's going to be great, it's going to be awesome. And complete opposite happened. I mean, like, if you look at the chart, you coming in here first, you're around this point in time. Basically, you're there. I watched everything I had, even in the farms, and you say, oh, 10 grand's nothing. It's like, it gets worse. Uh, that 10 grand I had was at 15. And for me, that was a lot of money at that time in 2022, 2023. It's a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money for an average person. Not so much maybe you if you're a big time investor, but for me, it was a lot of money, man. And so when that case came out from the SEC, you see this black candle, it's like having lived this is different than having coming in here first and having an opportunity, which I'm going to get to. So that hurt, man. It's like all the stuff I told my family, all the stuff that I got behind, everything. I'm like, hey, it's going to be great. And then these market factors come into effect. There's no momentum to gauge. There's nothing to to gauge it, it just, it was a sell-off. And then you can see where price kind of went up. And it was roughly like around that time where I got like a pension and extra funds that came in, bonuses, and I went really heavy. I was like, all right, cool, this is it. And obviously you see from 24 coming all the way down, like we're at this point now. So at the current state of things, with all of the money that I invested, that I watched go down to pennies on a dollar, it's roughly $40,000 plus that I've put in from 22 to 25 now. And so I guess probably thinking in your head like, oh dude, you lost everything on PulseChain. Like you lost everything. I mean, I can understand that argument. I get it. But what PulseChain for me represented, and the reason why I was willing to do that, is think about crypto right now. Think about where there was a chain that just went down that Crypto Coffee was talking about. Here he was sharing it on X. Went down and they lost. They gave up, completely turned it off. Decentralization, you don't turn it off. It's not something that you just have a switch that you can just be like, okay, it's not working, turn it off. PulseChain is a copy of Ethereum, and as long as there's validators on that network and there's people that believe in that network, it just runs. So when we had AWS go down, when there was a scare, I think around this time or something, there was some type of like hack or scare, and everybody's screaming like, Richard Hart, you got to go in, you got to turn things off. They didn't understand at that time, like, it's decentralized. You don't turn it off. It's market. It just keeps running. And that is invaluable. It's an invaluable aspect of this thing we call cryptocurrency, this thing that Bitcoin was supposed to represent, where you have decentralized money. And as of recently, tons of money from the government, tons of money from nation states, tons of money from banks, all these people that we don't like, is flooded into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they are literally just mopping the floor with traditional, I want to say OGs, guys who've been in cryptocurrency for multiple cycles. And this is where you're at. This is where you come in. So again, like I said, I'm not getting paid for this video. Like, this is just going to go up. It's probably going to get, what, 20 views, maybe not even 20. It may not even get 1 or 2 views. If it does, great. I don't care. I don't get paid on views. I'm not a paid influencer. I'm not paid to give you this information. But what I am here to tell you is that PulseChain fits the gap for anybody who's burned out, anybody who's looking for something that is actually real cryptocurrency, that is actually really decentralized. PulseChain fills that gap. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So you're skeptical, great. I don't care. If you're still with me 8 minutes in and you still want to learn more about, or you're interested where this is going, great, cool. I'll share. Go to pulsechain.com. Okay. PulseChain.com has everything you need to get started with this chain. Everything you need, every link, everything that's secure, that's not a scam, that's not going to clean out your wallet. If you want to know how to set up your wallet, they've got an option here for you to do that. If you just want to buy PLS, we now have OX Coast, and OX Coast is actually partnered with a real life bank in the real world where you can open a bank account and you can buy PulseChain. And there's a PulseX, which is like our premier liquid exchange, literally for trading tokens. So if you click this link, it's going to bring you to this page. When I started, when I go to BNB, I have to go to BNB's website, or I have to go to their tools, or you have to find PancakeSwap or whatever. If you go to Ethereum, what do? You're trying to find Uniswap. There's like all these different things, right? None of those things, BNB, Ethereum, Solana, give you the opportunity to actually not just access the exchange in a decentralized manner. So I can click this link, as you see, and here I'm on PulseX. None of those chains give you the opportunity to actually download the software from your desktop to run it as standalone software. What that basically means is that if this site goes down or PulseChain is not working for whatever reason, you can still access the DEX. You can still access it. It doesn't turn off. It's literal software on the net. As long as the net's up and running across the world, validators are validating, PulseChain is going to be there. And it's so undervalued right now that nobody gets it. They're stuck on the meme train of like, I'm going to buy a meme token, it's going to go to 1,000%. Well, we've seen what happens with that. You got Pulse.tires for PulseX, but you also have Pulse Pump.fun. Anybody can make a token. Anybody can. I know how to make a token. I've made a token. Uh, just to mess around with it. Anybody can go on Pump.tires. Anybody can go on Pump.fun, put up a picture of a cup, an animal, or something, and then add liquidity, and then now it's a token. That's not decentralization. Like, decentralization is me being able to have access to my wealth, no matter what's there, no matter what happens in the world, and being able to make yield off that wealth and run that wealth myself, like owning it. Now you can participate in the casino, which everybody has, and they've gotten burned out. But PulseChain gives you the ability to actually have access to and activate the software in a secure way where nobody can mess with you, as long as you're using secure links and you're not doing anything else. And that's not even it. There's even more to it. There's another website you can go to, which is at PulseChain.community. PulseChain.community. These now with PulseX, that's like your main DEX, if you want to say Uniswap, right? These are other DEXs and wallets that are built on PulseChain that you can use. Pietas is one. GoPulseX is one. 9inch is one. Fox is one. There's even more, and it kind of gives you like the leading ones. It also gives you other on-ramps. So I talked about Coast. You can on-ramp into PulseChain. I like Liberty.finance. It's probably the easiest way, but right now, if you had a Coinbase account, you could get Base, send Base over to your Base account, go to Liberty.swap, then swap that directly over into PLS. And if you're wondering, PulseChain also has its own decentralized bridge. So if you go down just a little bit here, there's a bridge here that you can get access to. You can get right access to Hex. This bridge is another type of bridge. I want to pull this up here. This is like Gibbs Finance. But let's say you don't want to use Gibbs Finance and you want to use something else a little more like decentralized. I'm going to show you this tool. You can go to, which is it's bridge.pulsechain.com. So I'll just delete this. This is a decentralized bridge. That means if the internet, as long as the internet's running, as long as validators are validating, this bridge is available. You can download it to your desktop. You don't have to use any of these on-ramps. If you just want to use the bridge and then bridge over from Ethereum directly into PulseChain, it's available. But you don't even have to do that. Here's a Liberty Swap.finance. All this stuff that I'm showing you right now was not available here. None of that was available. I had to get on the bridge, wait 30 minutes. Liberty Swap right here, you can literally go from Base to PulseChain. And the cool thing about this is you can turn off gasless mode. You can do it fully gasless. The only thing you pay is just for the transaction. So they're kind of like an intermediator. They have a big pool of PulseChain, a big pool of USDC on Base. So you send them 1,000. They'll take your 1,000 Base, just give you a one-to-one transfer on PulseChain, and then send it to your wallet. And then it's on PulseChain. It's on the network already. So what the heck does this mean like for you? If you're adamant or you're actually interested in it, the same amount of PulseChain that I had that was worth $15,000 way back here in 2022, you could get 100,000 PulseChain for $2,844 today of today's prices. Literally today. You can beat me and get the same position that I had 3 years ago for literally 25% of a little bit over, I'd say 30% of what I had in it today. And that's powerful. That's powerful. So people don't see that. People don't see that opportunity. And the other thing that I want to point out about PulseChain is, so I'll do a little chart talking. Just bear in mind, I don't want to do this for life. I already followed. I'm more active on Twitter, but if this helps you, I hope it does. Again, like I said, I don't get paid for this. So the way that I trade now, and I also trade in Forex, is I don't trade off those patterns and things that I was talking about. I trade off momentum. So what you're looking at really is it's a stochastic. You can set up the same figures if you want. It's a stochastic that helps me measure momentum, like how fast things moving, how fast things move, how slow things move. And you can, right now we're kind of starting to see that momentum come into play as human psychology and people are actually in the chain itself. So you can see here on March the 24th, it kind of came up and hung over here at the say 75 mark, and then it actually dipped down. And then it came up again here in 2024, started hanging around December 2024, and then it dipped down. So these are like the accumulation. And then you can see clearly came up here in August and dipped, and now it's kind of dipped down at this point, which means we're headed to either another phase of accumulation somewhere here. Don't know how long it's going to take. Or it's possible that we don't necessarily hang around that accumulation, but we start to go up either from here. I don't know what factors could lead to that. This little line that I drew here is similar to the line that I copied basically over from Ethereum. And PLS is basically a copy of Ethereum. It's basically Ethereum. It's just called PulseChain. It's the same thing. Like pump.tires, like pump fun. But what makes it different is that it's actually backed by a real community. It's actually backed by decentralized tools and networks. It's not VCs that have a big allocation that are here ready to dump on your head. All of this money represents community participants. So what I did is I took Ethereum from its start point with our price point. And yeah, if you're looking at the chart, when I looked at Ethereum, this is exactly what happened with Ethereum. It was flat for years, and then this massive candle just popped up out of nowhere. And I kind of did the same trajectory to see, maybe we go to 27. I don't know. I really don't know until time partakes. It could be a lot sooner, a lot shorter. But the fact that $2,844 just put away, left alone, could be worth 1 cent, that's over $1 million bucks. And then even at 2 cents, that's 2 million. I'm going to show you one other thing that can actually blow this out of the water and make this chart real. So with the exception of PulseChain.com, all of these charts, all of these websites are all community made. They're people who started companies or people that started projects. There's no VCs that made these websites. This is all community made. So this is a community made website based off of the liquidity conditions of PulseChain right now as it sits. And you probably heard through the rumor mill about Richard Hart moving $601 million of ETH. He didn't sell it. He just moved it. And so I want to show you what could possibly happen. Possibility if that 601 million goes into PulseChain in the way that I think it might go into. So I'm going to put right here, these are settings for liquidity, basically sell pressure. So as price goes up, it's not just going to go straight up and nobody sell. People are going to sell. I put 40% for hex because a lot of people don't believe in it. There aren't a lot of people that actually own it. There are not a lot of people that are staking it. I have stakes in hex. I have stakes from ETH hex before the swap. PLSX, I'm going to do roughly 45% because again, these are the core tokens that nobody's talking about. They're trying to get you. They try to get you by all these memes and all this other crap. Nobody really owns this except people that actually truly believe. I'll just put it out there bluntly. PLS, I'm going to do 60%. Actually, yeah, I'll do 60. I'm going to do 65% because PLS is like Ethereum. That's how people transact. So they're going to get in when they sell hex or when they sell a token, they're going to sell it to PLS, and then more than likely, if they want to get it out, they're going to sell it to a stable coin, USDC or something of that nature. Ink is like your incentive token. So this token is the token that like you can gain income on by using the PulseChain farms. So that one I'm going to do a little higher only because I think the purpose of Ink is to make income. So we got all our settings set. Now I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to show you what happens with $601 million of purchase power just coming into the ecosystem. This doesn't necessarily have to be Richard Hart. This can just be people finding out about Hex and they want to get involved. How are they going to get into the ecosystem? They're not going to buy Hex. They're not really going to know about PLSX or Inc. They're just going to know about PulseChain. We calculate that with the current liquidity condition on PulseX right now, as it's thinking. PLS by itself could experience an 859x, which is 2 cents. So do the math. You get 100 million, that's $2 million. Hex could possibly worth $5.41. So do the math, right? You got a million Hex, it's 5 million. Quintessentially, PLSX, if you had 100 million PLSX, that's $1 million. That's all this is the only thing standing in the way. Now think about that 601 million and think about the other 2% or millions of people that are in crypto that have way more than that. And they want to go to a place that's not flash and mirrors, that's actually real, that can actually give them yield for their money. These numbers can change dramatically. Let me show you another calculation here. Here's Hex. I'm going to calculate that. If $601 million, this is where all of the daggone influencers are getting it wrong. And again, like I told you, I don't get paid for this. I don't do this regularly to where I want to be, hey, it's me in crypto. Like, I'm cool with being on X and just chatting or putting a tweet every once in a while or replying. Whatever. I'm cool with doing that. But if $601 million just goes into Hex, the way that liquidity is paired with PLS, look how the numbers dramatically change. All right. That's a 2,000x on PLS. That's $6 million with a $2,844 investment. That means that if more money's coming in through PLS, for example, right? Or let's say it's bridged in as a stable coin, USDC into PLS from Ethereum. So Ethereum gets sold to USDC and just comes on over into PLS. And somebody decides they just want to use that USDC to just buy Hex. The price of Hex would be $440 a coin. Like, do the math. 100 million PLS would be $6 million. 100 million on PLSX side, it would be $4 million. The system is primed and it's just ready for money to come. And my hypothesis is that when people realize, like, as they're starting to realize now and they're getting burned out, all this other stuff is crap. It's all scams. It's all run by the government. You're being scammed. They're going to want to come to a place that's real. So I'm going to do another fun thing. Let's say there's $601 million out there that could possibly go into Hex. But let's say that collectively in the world, everybody finds out about PLS, your mom, your grandma, everybody else, and they're like, we're going to buy some PLS. And that represents $1 billion of purchase power. And let's watch it. Watch how these numbers change. Watch this. That 1 billion I'm seeing is representing people that bought Ethereum, people that bought BNB, people that got on Solana and bought meme coins and got wrecked, people that are hearing about crypto. Maybe they got a tablet in the mail. The numbers combined with major purchase on Hex, because Hex is the store value of PulseChain. I don't care what anybody else tells you. I don't care if Inc goes to $10,000 a coin. Hex is the store of value of PulseChain that will allow you to print money over time. You can look into it yourself. I'm already built my ladders. Like, I'm set to where, like, my little stack that I have staked, and I don't have a lot of money staked. I mean, I was building a ladder with $25 stakes. Like, you do the math, 3,000 times 614 with like 10 stakes. Just giving you a general idea, right? That's 1.8 million, and if I already have 10 set aside, that's $18 million that's staked in printing money, and I don't have to work for it. But I'm starting that with like 25 bucks here, 15 here, 40 here. Long-term vision. On the same side, 100 million PLS, if for literally, like I said, $2,800 right now if you want to get involved, is going to be worth $26 million. Now, again, that's on paper. And just like homes, just like other investments, like BTC, not everybody's trying to sell at the same time. So you're going to have things like slippage. But here's the key point. People like me, like just doing this for free, like making things for free, just sharing stuff for free. I'm not trying to get 26, 46, whatever million dollars so I can just like pull it out into the real world and ball, because the real world has showed me that decentralization gives me power. I'm going to keep that same amount of equity as well as others in the system to generate decentralized yield that a bank or a government can't touch. Now, added on to that is, if you're still here with me 25 minutes later, what gives us the biggest edge in crypto is regulatory clarity, and I'm going to show that to you. This is the Security and Exchange Commission versus Schuler. You'll see stuff on X and they'll say, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam. It's not a scam. It was a real freaking case that was filed, like I told you, July of 2023. That's where I lost literally half of my bag, and I was depressed, down a couple $1,000, and I've gone through years of putting in money, right? Date terminated, May 6, 2025. You can go to court listener. If you can see the docket number 676-493-62, and the entire case file is here. I lived this. You're just watching this now. Like, I lived through this. And I am telling you, this case with the SEC, when it was done, what does it say here? Clerk's judgment, that the judgment is hereby entered in favor of defendant, signed by Deputy Clerk Jalita Paveda on behalf of Court Clerk Brianna B. Mahoney. Lawyer talk for judgment is hereby entered in favor of defendants. When you pull up the case files for PulseChain, for this case, it includes PulseChain, it includes PLSX, it includes Hex. Everything that Richard Hart touched was attacked through this case. They were trying to shut it down, but we won. So regulatory clarity was given to Richard Hart's creations and to us in PulseChain. We're the only crypto community that has it. And the powers that be are ultimately banking on crypto to destroy itself within, because they know anyone at BNB, anyone in Ethereum, anyone holding XRP, all of that stuff is still subject to litigation. And if they can get the communities to destroy it and get negative, they've done their job. But if the communities rise up in any one of those tokens and they want to try to do something more, they can still be brought up on charges for securities fraud. We can't. And the reason that we cannot be brought up is because our case was already won. But the reason that I think they ignore us is because they're not taking us seriously. They don't take our case seriously. They don't take PulseChain seriously. So that leaves you with the opportunity literally of a lifetime. Literally of a lifetime. If you're looking for the generational wealth part, and you want to get involved, this is where you can fight. Like, we've been on those front lines, like personally affected on those front lines. Looking at the chart off momentum, what I'm probably going to see, what I don't want to see, which is probably going to happen, is PLS actually drop a little bit lower and the community get a little bit more negative, and then they'll blame Richard Hart when it's really just market factors and value. But people will wake up to that. But what that means for you, this is probably the biggest buying opportunity of your life. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. And just really wanted to share it and encourage you. Like, if you're on this journey in crypto, like, I've done it all, man. I've done the meme coins. I've done all the garbage. I've done all the crap. Like, I started with that crap. I have videos on my YouTube page, if you go back through my crypto vlog, where I was in other coins, and I'm leaving it there as a historical document, but also to prove that real DeFi and real crypto wins out. Like, I want this to be the story. You kind of my YouTube page, it's just going to be there. I'm not going to be like, hey, look at me. And I'm just going to be like, hey, this is it. This is what I did. So you've caught me at this time. And so I really hope that if you're on the fence about PulseChain, go to PulseChain.com. Do your research. Go to hex.com. Do your own research. Like, all this stuff exists. You can go there. You can read up on these projects. And then you can make your own decision on whether you want to be on that side. And then on the same token of that, you don't have to. I could care either way. Like I said, I don't get paid to do this. So this is my vlog for now. I really believe that we're really going to blow up within, we're really going to make some crazy moves, because everybody, like I said in this post under Crypto Coffee's video, everybody is burned out. They're burned out. Like, they are looking for something to believe in. Like, they're looking for something to believe in, man. Like, look at this. You obviously, like, I'm a nobody. I get no, well, honestly, I get no comments and post on an interaction on my page, because I went through AI and I found out that X, if you talk about crypto or you talk about Jesus, which I talk about both, they'll nerf your account, like, because, which is crazy. So, but regardless, I don't care. But if you see this post I put up there, look at the 4 people. Look at what they're saying. Like, they're mad at Trump for rugging them, which he did. That coin rugged them badly. But people wanted bankers in the space. We wanted bankers to come. I knew JP Morgan was buying a Bitcoin and making wallets for the EU back in 2022. Like, there were articles on it. Nobody cared. Well, that's what you wanted. Now you're getting what you wanted. Some dudes like bottom signal crash outs. Thank you for yours. I mean, the thing about that is, it's like, the cycles are done, guys. Like, here, I'm going to show this because I've been preaching this chart. And again, nobody cares. Like, maybe you're watching this video, right? So I put this post up. I said, there's no way the top wasn't at 126K. This is BTC without log. Like, the top's in. They control it now. If you see, this is where it was in 2016 it started. There's the first cycle. 1, 2 was kind of weird, because you can see it was manipulated. Here's this weird manipulation thing. And then here we are, 3. And people are like, man, it went from 110 to 113. Like, homie, where I could have taken and bought in 15,000 of Bitcoin, and I put it in PulseChain, I watched it go from 15,000 to 126K. But I don't care so much about that, because I know that Bitcoin and Ethereum, like, they're manipulated. Not to say that crypto's not all, crypto's manipulated in general, but when BlackRock comes out and says in a public ledger, like, oh, Bitcoin's bad, and then they turn around and they buy like $100 million of Bitcoin, like, you tell me that's not manipulation? Or the 80% dip that everybody was crying about up here. It's like, these people are not worried. They don't care, and they still don't care, to their own detriment. When Bitcoin got attacked in the court, Satoshi wasn't going to the White House to try to protect it and pay $11 million, $14 million for lawyers to protect it. He pretty much was like, nope, we'll let it die. And the government came in, regulated the crap out of it. Bitcoin is like, it's good for, now it's at that stage where it's going to be like S&P territory. It's over. It's owned. It's no longer the people's, so from that point, I don't care. I don't care if I had $100,000 in Bitcoin. I would not care. It's owned by the people I don't like, the people that block my debit card when I go to buy something, that shut off my debit card when I go to make a high purchase, that tell me how much I can buy and who I can't buy it from. Like, the stuff built into my Visa card. Like, I started a business recently that I've been running called DJ and Fox Apparel. And the same thing with that business is, like, Coinbase won't let you spend your debit card through Coinbase for business purchases. Like, it's my money. If I want to spend it, I should be able to spend it where I want to. But you have all of this stuff out there. So now Coast, there's a bank called Old Glory Bank, which works with Coast, that is crypto friendly. It will more than likely let you spend your money where you want to spend it. So it's just asinine to me. I don't care. I would rather be, and you guys are probably going to hear this, clip it, I don't care. I would rather be broke and have my decentralized freedom and have my money where it can't be touched, than to have all the money in the world and somebody just can flip a switch and tell me, and well, find a place to put your money. I would rather, and we're already set up for that. PulseChain is already set up for that decentralized aspect that it's going to fill and it's going to hit the market. But again, listen to what I'm telling you. Like, I'm just a random dude in PulseChain. There are hundreds of people like me that are we're not faking it, is what I'm trying to tell you. We're not faking it. We're living it every day with our dollars, with our work, with our sacrifice, with our effort, with our content. Like, we are living it. And we're living it not because Richard Hart's going to give me $1 million or Richard Hart's going to save my bags. I'm living it because I actually believe in this stuff, dude. You have any clue what it's like to live through an SEC case? And then I start worrying, like, I'm not big, but then I start worrying, like, are they going to come after me? Because I talk about PulseChain on my X account. Luckily, I wasn't big enough. But small people like me, like you, got summons to this court case in July and freaking ran off. Freaking ran off. Trayvon, who does like the More token, if you've heard of him, he got a summons for PulseChain. We're just talking about Hex. So it's not a thing that I'm just on here and I'm just like, hey, buy this token and it's gonna have all this and I'm gonna give you all this false hope. No, look, you could go ahead and get your 100 million of PLS right now, and we may not even budge. We might just go flat for another 3 or 4 years because that's what markets do. You really can't predict where they're going to go other than the momentum. Now that I can kind of see it on the chart, kind of gives me an idea of where we're headed, which I think we're headed a little lower, but I don't care because when we go lower, I'm going to buy more. That by the time we do pop up, I'm not going to need $1 of PLS to be good. I'm not going to even need 20 cents on PLS to be good. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, I already see the bigger picture. And then as that community of growth continues to grow, the entities outside, just like they adopted Bitcoin, will turn their heads, but it'll be something they can't control. So I'm 37 minutes into this vlog. On a personal note, it's been a long few years of ups and downs, but I really feel that we're at a point now where it's about to turn that leaf, and everybody who hated on PLS and PulseChain and Hex because they wanted to still get paid as influence in this false economy that exists in what's called a crypto, buy a meme, pay some random dude in Pakistan to pump your coin nonsense, that stuff is going away. And when it goes away, there's going to be a massive void. But what's not going to go away is people's dreams and wanting to take the opportunity to make money and grow assets in a place on the web where they can do it. And you know where they can do it? PulseChain. I said it, PulseChain. Peace out, guys.